Hello everybody, Zeff here with ZeffsTrading, July 29th, 2024. This will be our chart lesson for today of the ES futures on the 2000 tick chart. Overall, not too bad of a day. There's some trades in here, not really the best, just kind of mediocre, I'll be honest. Bouncing off of our bottom of our trend channel here for the daily chart. We'll see where this thing goes. If we get a failed second entry long on the daily chart, definitely probably get some more sell-off. We'll see what happens though, and we'll go from there. So let's get into this chart review. And as you can see here, pre-market session, really not much going on here. We have to move down, break new low, find support. A lot of this, as you can see here, is going to be pretty choppy, sideways, and you have some moments throughout the day that are pretty decent. Just kind of how it was. Okay, that being said here, I don't see anything in the pre-market that looks pretty decent to trade. You have first entry, second entry short. This isn't really pulled back to the EMA, and also right after market open, got to be careful. Get to double bottom, moves higher here. You do get a first entry, second entry long, but bad signal bar, can't take it. And then you get some nice measured moves here, as you can see, the first one and a bigger one as well. So after the measured move happened, you get a lower high, but really not the best signal bar. Maybe you could have taken that if you wanted. Back down to the EMA. Still not much room. Don't really see much in here. You do have a first entry, second entry long, and it fails. But again, I don't think this is the correct moment to be looking for failures and not the best signal bars. Moving along here, we get a 1, 2, 3 little kind of triple test here on a smaller time frame, or just 3 wicks touching, find support. I saw this as you could see this as a first entry, second entry short failure, but I also just kind of see this as a double bar matching low into maybe a higher low. The stops shorts are right up here for all the people going short. Their stop is one tick above. As you can see, it climbs right through it. You could also reset the count and say first entry, second entry short failure, and I think this one would have been a lot more feasible. So that'd be a failed second entry short. And it's a pretty decent signal bar as well. So going high there, plenty of room to the highs up. And then you kind of get your 3 tests of 1, 2, and 3 here as well. So I think that works out pretty well for this. And you also still have a good amount of room to the swing high if you enter with a decent limit order. So remember, just context, then the pattern. That being said, we get some congestion across the board here. We get a break, attempt at a new high, fails, and then we get a move down, which is a first entry, second entry long failure. And I thought this one was quite well. It's a pretty decent signal bar. You'll have a 9 tick stop if you get in with a limit order. Would like to see it pull back to the EMA, but this is a pretty strong downtrend, and you can kindly see this bullish trend has moved up and over with already. So it leads right back down to our swing low here. And then continuing on, we get some corrections. I don't really see much in here. There's a lot of just, small trading ranges, kind of people getting chopped up for sure. So you got to be careful of that. But then you just kind of have a repeat pattern of what we just had. And let's see if this is a measured move here. As you can see, to the very tick. Then you get your first entry, second entry long failure again. This looks like a lot better. You can see it pulled back to the EMA a lot more with a strong rejection wick. I think this one's a lot better to do, but both of these aren't bad setups at all. Break new low here, as we can see. And we get another measured move. A lot of measured moves today, so if you're watching those and counting them, good job. Get a small little choppy trading range here. Goes higher. First entry, second entry short failure. Goes up. Traps people. Sells off. Nothing really to get in here. If you're patient enough, you do get a nice triple test here. A 1, 2, and 3 triple test. Good signal bar closing on its lows. Pretty textbook triple test. Plenty of room to the swing low there for your 2 points. Moves lower here, and then you get a pretty strong rejection. Prices below the EMA. As you can see here, though, a lot of overlapping bars, so you got to be very careful of this. Again, retesting into a trading range. You do have a first entry, second entry short here. This is pretty debatable because you could reset the count from a double bottom, and there is plenty of room here all the way to the swing low. I think if you enter with a limit order, a few ticks back, because this is a 3-point bar basically. So if you get filled here and you get your stop, maybe 6 ticks seems pretty reasonable. Just give yourself a bigger win rate. Maybe you take that trade. Kind of hesitant, but I could see why someone would like it. Anyways, that being said, I do see a first entry, second entry short, textbook, lower high. Definitely like taking these, and it leads to a very big win down here. And that's really what you're looking for all day. Some nice confirmation. You can see bullish move up, first entry, second entry short. You could technically enter on the second entry. I think it's a little sideways across the board here, as you can see, and then that lower high just confirms it and sells off. Something to be noted here with this downtrend, we never get a break in new low. I think you could have drawn that a few ways, but I think this 1, 2, 3, 4 lines up pretty well. So just sometimes you don't get the break in new low. You do get a first entry, second entry short failure, not the best signal bar, holds above EMA, and then there's really no pullbacks. There is a first entry, there's a first entry, second entry long here, but it's too sideways. It makes a double top. You don't really want to take these. Even in the bullish upward trend channel, you got to be careful. Anyways, as price moves way above EMA, really not too much to get in here. You could probably argue for some of these good signal bars to enter with the bullish trend if you see it, but that's pretty advanced, so just be careful of that. If you know what you're doing, I don't see a problem in it. Anyways, as we get up into here, we do get a first entry, second entry short. You kind of get this double top, tries to go higher, fails, then it just turns into the sideways trading range here. I don't really like taking any setups in here. Maybe you get to take a 1, 2, and 3 triple test. Could easily just break a little bit higher, stop you out, fail, and that's pretty much what happens right here. So you got to be very careful of that. You do get a lower high, which is pretty tempting to take, and it could have easily turned into a second entry long. Comes down, breaks. You just got to be careful with these. You got to be careful with these. There is plenty of room down here. Maybe you take these. This is very hard to determine because it does sell off, but when you see this, you got to be very careful. So if you understand what you're doing, understanding that this is a scalp, maybe you can take those. Just be cautious of them. The best thing to do is if you are confused and you clearly don't see a good enough lower high or a higher low, just wait, and you can always do that as well. So anyways, you get to move down here, you get a break. It basically turns into this one little pullback, and then it just chops, right? It does get rejected off the EMA multiple times, and then you can establish your bearish down trading range, or bearish trend channel, little tongue twister there. As it falls below, I saw this getting rejected off the EMA and the trend channel here, and then these are where my trades came in. So let's mark these. And I saw this as a first entry, pulls back. Let me zoom in here. I saw a rejection off here. I saw a first entry, pulls back up, rejected. Second entry short. I enter with a limit order, and I got 2.75 points on this. Major rejection off the trend channel. And I was trying to get 3, but I just moved my stop and got hit. Then I saw this 1, 2, and 3. This triple test was pretty tempting to take. I also saw this first entry, second entry long. Boom, and then triple test. This definitely would have worked. Tried to get in with a limit order, so I risked very little. I think I was trying to get in with 6. Never hit. Also, it's in a downward trend, but 1, 2, and 3 triple test with good signal bars. I thought it was actually really good in real time. And then it moved higher. Then I saw a first entry, second entry short. Again, wanted to take it. You could see 3-point bar. So again, tried to enter with a limit order right about here. And never got filled, never got that limit order hit. Sells off, which is fine. I see this breakout happen, and then this is where I uploaded a live trade for y'all. I basically saw the swing low here, and it was chopping already pretty sideways, as we can see. And I was expecting at least to move back up if we fail. I saw 1, 2, red bar closing on its low. Everyone's short. It turns green, closes on its high, and then I'm like, oh, perfect. This is just a failed breakout. Most breakouts fail. Put my stop 1 tick under, almost got stopped out, but I had to do it in order to protect my risk at 55.05 and put it 1 tick underneath. So I had a 2-point stop. Worked out, got my 10 ticks there, 2.5 points. But again, that's reducing risk and basically betting on this as a failed breakout, trapping short traders, and then it sells off again. Pretty advanced trade. You got to really know what you're doing here and have some confidence that this is going to pull back higher. Again, almost got stopped out, but that's why you put your stop where it needs to go, underneath the signal bar. And was right about that. And those are the 2 trades for today. 2 wins in a row, so I'm cutting it, trying to follow the rules a little better and really hold myself accountable. So those are the trades for today. And then for the rest of the day, we find support along here. There's another first entry, second entry short, but not the best signal bar, and it's kind of turns into a range of where you needed to be either entering with extremely deep limit orders or just scalping for 4 ticks. The market started to cool down, the ATR started to drop off, and I did realize that when I was kind of in watching this unfold here. So you got to be careful of that, adapt, and that's just how it is. Anyways, you find support along this major swing low here. These are pretty tempting to take. Again, if you know what you're doing, first entry, second entry long, fails. You don't enter on the failure. You're already into the swing low. You're into support. You don't know what'll happen. And then when you see this beautiful signal bar here, low risk bar, you take that. You know that you're trapping all of the short traders who think this is going lower, and you're just basically buying low, selling at the highs of the swing highs up here, and this thing continues to carry off. So if you know what you're doing, you can take these. You probably need a lot of screen time to understand that, but nonetheless, first entry, second entry long, it fails. It traps the short traders. When you see this right into the swing low here, you enter, and as it pushes up, they're moving their stops. They get the stops taken out, and that's why it ends up going higher. So anyways, for the rest of the day here, you do get a nice first entry, second entry long from this swing high, but not a good signal bar, unfortunately, and then this higher low is horrible. Again, then it just chops. I don't see anything in here that I like for the rest of the day, and as we can see, it just kind of ends into the day like this. And then, again, just another choppy trading range. Breaks, choppy trading range, nothing really. Buying low, selling high, buying low is basically how you ought to play most of the day, unless you were very, very patient and waited for some major confirmed trend channels. Anyways, that's how I saw it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this trading review, and I will, of course, be back tomorrow. See you guys next time.